I'm Aubrey.
And I'm Amy. Let's discuss! And look, we learned to look at the proper cameras. That's my camera.
I know, right? I'm not like holding up my bowl of chicken pot pie like...
Also...
Okay, anyways. I looked back on it today and I was like, bro.
It's one of the funniest parts of the whole episode.
It honestly is.
We're really proud of ourselves because we are not tech people.
And today, we set up the camera and the mics
and
without my boyfriend here.
Yeah, like we even figured out how to like hook them up to external power. We got everything. And you know, shouldn't speak too soon because maybe we're just fucking it all up.
I know, and watch is not even.
And we'll record this whole podcast and be like, oh wow, that didn't even record or something. But I was literally thinking about like, what if we started the cameras and then forgot to start the sound?
Because no one's here to watch the podcast today, we've like flipped the cameras on so like
we're can watching see ourselves.
Yeah, what's being watched. And so now I'm just like looking at myself. I'm like,
looking at me.
I'm like, do my bangs need to be fixed?
Your bang? Let me see.
There's a part of my forehead that's red. Whatever.
They're very puffy on the side, but it's fine.
On which side?
I mean, Aubrey, look at me. I look like I just ran through a haunted maze or something.
You know, I like to wear cute outfits. So as this podcast goes on, I'll try whoa, I can speak. I'll try to wear makeup and cutesy outfits every now and then.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
I won't. I mean, sometimes I feel like, oh, I should make more of an effort, but at the same time, I'm like, you know,
I was such a tomboy as a kid, and I think it was purely
just. You were. I don't think you were at all. You were totally like.
I'm talking about
a girly
when
girl.
I was really young. But anyways, we can get into that later.
We can.
Because our topic for today is
school. But before we get into that, we have to start with our vocalization of the day.
Yeah, ready? And also our sweet treat or whatever we're eating today.
So we're going to start each episode with a vocalization that sums up how we feel about the day so far. Today is, it's the 31st. It's January 31st.
January 31st, our time. We'll see when it is when we release this for you guys.
But it's Friday.
Yeah.
Is it? Or is it
Friday?
Saturday? Oh, it's Saturday.
Oh, it is. It's Saturday.
Wow. It's Saturday night, and this is what all the cool kids are doing. They're hanging out with their mom, making a podcast.
I know. Okay. I've literally done, like, to the world, I've done nothing today. On my own, I've done things like work out and read, but to the world, I've done nothing today.
Yeah.
I've been
and
a hermit.
I heard you singing, and you've done some stuff. We worked on your script.
That's true.
She has an audition. She's preparing. So, yeah.
Yeah.
You've had a productive day, and it's Saturday, dude. It's the weekend.
It's a freaking weekend.
Okay, so vocalization of the day. Just sum up the day. You ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Huh. Wait, what the heck? Why did we do the same one?
Because it was like, it wasn't bad, it wasn't good. I mean, it wasn't not good. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like, wow, this day was amazing. It was like, this was just a day. It was a day. Like, it was partially productive, it was like partially lazy,
I'm feeling
it was
curious
partially
about
fun.
the future. I've been resting. It's a calming sound. Like,
Yeah, like it was just kind of a day. It was easygoing. It was partially productive, but very relaxing.
Yeah, it wasn't booty cheeks. Wasn't magical. You know, somewhere in between.
And I just came back from dinner with some friends, which was fun. So it was a nice
maybe
mix
some moments.
Some moments, but yeah, but I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
So anyway, but okay, so now our food review.
Yes,
of the episode. Review. We're excited about this one.
I've
had it before, but it's been a long
time.
And Aubrey thinks maybe she's had it, but she doesn't remember having it.
I don't remember it.
Trader Joe's Apple Blossom. Oh, so this is like an apple tart, and they come in the freezer section, and you bake them in the oven.
And then I
got some McConnell's vanilla bean ice cream.
Yeah.
McConnell's is a California ice cream company. They're based in Santa Barbara, so yay local. You got to go a la mode with the apple.
Oh, I'm so excited right now.
Aubrey opted for a fork. I opted for a spoon. I feel weird eating ice cream with a fork. It gives me the ick.
But I'm having okay, it gives you the ick.
It feels
everything
weird
gives you the ick.
It feels weird stabbing into it with the tines.
Holy gosh.
It was good.
Oh man.
I told you it was good.
This is a solid 9.5 out of 10, maybe even a 10 out of 10.
Yep.
This is a perfect dessert.
And if you have like a toaster oven, you can make it in the toaster oven. We have a Tavala oven. We just cooked it in there, so it was really fast.
I I've been waiting to eat this for like 30 minutes.
It's really good, you guys. Really good. The crust is even really good.
If you're wondering, from our first 2 episodes, no, we're not sponsored by Trader Joe's. No. Trader Joe's sponsor us though.
We love Trader Joe's. I have to eat a lactate pill.
We love snacks and we love Trader Joe's, so.
I'm eating a lactate pill.
You go for that, queen.
Aubrey relies on her half whiteness to not need one. I guess,
through.
I'm lactose intolerant, but I don't get like sick. I just will literally be farting all night. So I do it for you. I do it because I love you and I care about you.
Wow, you're such a good mom.
I mean, because anyone can just sit in their own farts.
That's true. I feel like I don't really think about how my own farts smell that much. You never like, ew.
But why are other people's farts so disgusting?
I was gonna say it's like when you have bad breath, but it's just yours. But no, I can't handle bad breath on my own.
Bad breath is gross.
Like I was like when you wake up in the morning, and then I was like, no, I actually hate the taste of bad breath.
All breath is bad when it's bad.
Like when I have when you get your wisdom teeth removed, the worst breath on the entire planet.
So gross because all that food is trapped in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I was gonna continue about farts. Oh, I remember when I told you about. Years ago, I worked at this restaurant in Minnesota called Byerly's. It's sort of like this upscale chain of grocery stores in Minnesota, and then they have a family restaurant attached to it. And the food's actually really good there. It's like a fancy IHOP, but it's Byerly's. And so I used to be a supervisor there after college, and there was a girl that worked there. Her name was Nikki. I can't remember your last name, but hey, Nikki, if you're watching this,
Nikki.
Hey. But we were talking about that, like how your own fart doesn't smell as bad as other people's farts. She goes, my mom calls that a pew finky.
Oh, you did tell me about this.
We were like, what? She's
like,
girl? When you enjoy the smell of your own fart, it's called a pew finky. I'm like, well, I didn't say I enjoyed it, but it just doesn't repulse you like somebody else.
Who told her mom that it was a pew finky, though?
I would love to know the lore behind that.
There's family history behind the pew finky, because I've never heard about this.
Has anybody else heard of a pew finky? I think it's just Nikki's family.
Please, in the comment sections, let us know. Have you heard of a pew finky? Because I sure haven't.
Nikki,
but you know what? It's like
Minnesota.
You know those aesthetic videos that are like words that you didn't know existed to describe things.
No.
And it'll be like the smell of rain, falling on concrete or something. And this is the word for it. Yeah, like things like that. But then you just put pew finky. The smell of enjoying your own fart.
Pew finky.
Okay. I'm done.
So this episode's about education.
Yes, because I know so much about that, me not being in college. Just kidding.
My little high school dropout.
I'm not actually a high school dropout.
She's not.
I graduated early when I was 17.
She did.
Or 16? 17, 16. But then I really left
17.
school.
You were 17 at the beginning of your senior year, right?
Yeah, but I'd already technically done it before that.
True.
I was...
Anyway.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
After the first couple weeks of her senior year, she decided to graduate.
I was like,
she'd already taken the equivalency test, and she didn't technically
stuff, yeah.
didn't have to go to school anymore, but she wanted to just for the social part and whatever. But then she started the year and was like, yeah, maybe I don't need to do this. And no regrets, right? I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Did you ever regret it? I guess that's more of a question than a statement. I shouldn't state for you.
No. I definitely think about what it would have been like, but there are absolutely no regrets, because I'm also the type of person who just doesn't like to regret things in general. You know, it's like I try to think that a lot of things happen for a reason, especially like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't.
I know she doesn't
I don't
believe
think things happen for a reason at all.
Yeah,
we
have very different beliefs on things like that.
But tell me honestly, I'd ask you this closer to the event, but now that you've had like a year has passed and stuff, over a year. At the time, like when things were going on without you, like the school plays and blah 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 and graduation, like were you a little bummed ever? Like, oh, I wish I could have walked at graduation or that kind of thing? Did you feel like a little FOMO?
Walking at graduation, not too much FOMO. Not getting to do the High School Musical Grease Devastated.
Oh.
But
okay.
I know, and my ex-high school boyfriend at the time was playing Danny Zuko.
It would have been weird then. It would have been you guys.
Well, but we were still, once again, complicated thing, but we still would have been dating if I was in school, so then we would have been...
You think so?
Yeah, we would have been Sandy and Danny. You would have
stayed together if you had stayed in school?
I don't really know. I mean, I feel like I would have.
Wow.
But then again, I don't know.
Wasn't there a Gwyneth Paltrow movie about this? Okay, anyway.
Which movie?
Wasn't it called like Sliding Doors or something? Or anyway.
No clue.
Someone tell us.
High school plays, yeah. Things like that.
Of life.
Prom, it was whatever, honestly. There's many fun parties outside of high school.
This is so good. I just want to put the plate in my mouth.
I know.
Right
yeah, I just want to
well, I mean, here's the thing. You and I obviously had wildly different educational experiences.
Very.
Because I had a very traditional education. I grew up in suburban Minnesota in the 70s and 80s. I graduated in 1990. Do the math, I'm 53. I grew up in an area where the public school system was very good. And back then, probably was like this here too. Like, you went to the school where you lived. There was, here in LA, and I think that's still the same way in many towns and cities. Here in LA, it's very different. You don't have to go to the school in your neighborhood. If you want, you can go to a different school. And there are different hoops you've got to jump through depending on what grade it is and where you want to go, whatever. But you can, like, in her high school, there were kids from all over the place, and it was a public charter. But even in the regular public non-charter schools, like, there will be kids from all across town, and Los Angeles is huge. It sprawls for miles and miles and miles. So it's a little weird in that sense. I grew up in the same school system. I you know, like my friend Emily at home. Hi, Emily Dyer. I knew her. I met her in first grade. We're still friends, but we went all the way through school together. I know people that I've known since kindergarten. We went all the way from K through 12 together.
Yeah. That's
just how it was where I grew up and what it was like back then. And it's so different now. Like yours, I mean, of course, because you were on a show and spent the majority of your education was in studio school.
Studio school and homeschooling and being homeschooled by a tutor.
Yeah, so let's break that down for people, because I think I get asked about that a lot, and people get very confused. They think that, like, if you're on a TV show, you just do studio school, but that's not the case. It's a mix of both.
I mean, there are some kids who fully just go to a regular public high school, or school for that matter, whatever grade that they're in, and then they split their time between there and on set if they can, especially if it's more like you're on a TV show instead of a movie. Movies can be a bit trickier, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
or if you're gone for long
really
periods of time like that. Yeah, but a lot of kids that I knew who were on things like Disney Channel, who were on ABC shows, went to regular high schools, including a couple of the kids on my show who were older than me.
Yeah, and a lot of the kids who work, they'll do a combination of studio school and then homeschool program. And some of them do an online school. Some of them do like what Aubrey did. There's a public district here that has an independent school that a lot of professional kids do that curriculum through that public school.
Like a lot of people did it. Like that's what Ariana Greenblatt did. I'm pretty sure Malachi Barton did it. Zendaya did it. Sky Jackson, I'm pretty sure did it.
Yeah, Rico from Modern Family did it.
Literally so many
Micah
friends.
Abbey, like a lot of Dallas Young, they all did this one particular school, and there are a lot of like kids who are professional athletes. There are a lot of high schoolers who are on that track as well. So there are a lot of options here in California, which is really good. They kind of have to be because there's so many kids who work here in this state. But I feel like we get asked about that a lot. Like, oh, did you like, being homeschooled, or do you like, but it's like, how do you compare it? You didn't really have, okay, talk about the years where you were in regular school. So you went to regular school for most of first grade and kindergarten. All of kindergarten, most of first grade, and all of fifth grade.
Should we just like chronologically break this down? Yeah. So let's talk about that era first.
The era.
Okay. So I went to a private pre-K that was like low-key really weird. We won't say the name of it, probably.
I would love to just rip that school to shreds.
I mean, we could. I have no attachment to them at all.
It was this little weirdo freak school called Cardin Conejo. That's all we need to say.
No more. Yeah. And so
I hated that school.
That's the type of school I wore uniforms. Like, girls had to wear dresses, which I hated.
It was very strict.
You're getting
and traditional.
sand. Like, you're sitting in sand with a dress on the playground. Hell, not like what?
Here's my favorite part of kindergarten. Like, it was very traditional, and it was based on the educational philosophy of this woman from like a billion years ago named May Carden.
I didn't know this. Oh,
yes.
It's from a woman named Carden.
Like how there's like Montessori schools, or there's like this was the Carden schools. There are hardly any Carden schools because guess what? It's not a very good educational system. So anyway, it's very old fashioned. It's very outdated. They had like mimeographed. They had photocopies of mimeographed. Mimeographs are old. School worksheets that looked like they were from like the 40s and 50s. Oh, it was crazy. I'll find some because I saved some pictures of some and I'll send them to our editor.
And you just lore.
No, one of my favorite ones was they had this thing, the way that they taught English, and part of like how they would teach grammar was called the who doing.
The who doing?
Who doing? Who do? You do. We would make fun of me and the other moms.
You do.
Who do? And so, you know, a lot of like early elementary, like it's fill in the blank for, you know, learning.
Right, yeah.
And it said like, it would have a very simple phrase like Aubrey eats, and then they would say who eats, Aubrey eats, and then you would fill in these blanks, right? So that was the who doing, right? And on the sentence, the example it gave, it was May hose. Like
I remember that.
May hose, and it says who hose? I mean, I was dying. I'm like,
my hose.
They really need to update this shit. Anyway, so that school was a total weird. It was very odd. Oh, this is my kindergarten story. I was gonna tell. So it was very traditional. It was very old fashioned. Like in the classrooms, you know how like a lot of elementary schools, they'll do fun stuff. Like the teacher, it's up to them. Like, oh, let's put our desks in circles, or let's make pods for. No, all the classrooms had straight lines.
That's the only classroom I really remember where it was like actually
old fashioned, and that was like part of the philosophy.
And this is like that's pre-K, bro. Like we're not even
and kindergarten.
It's like we started to walk like 1-2 years ago. Like we're sitting in desks.
So by kindergarten, it was like straight rows uniforms. And aisles, and it was so very traditional. So her teacher called me one day at home, kindergarten. Aubrey's 5, and says to me, I'm really concerned about Aubrey's scissor skills.
Well, I'm bisexual, so we don't have to worry about that now, do we?
Wah, wah.
Okay, sorry. I'll stop being a freak.
Okay.
I just don't like saying that.
But literally...
Scissoring skills. Girl,
she didn't say scissoring. I think she just said scissor. I don't know, scissor skills. But I literally laughed out loud over the phone. I was like, what? She said, I'm concerned about her scissor skills. She has a really hard time cutting on the lines. I'm like, you fucking
and I still do. What about it?
Who fucking gives a shit?
Yeah, honestly, who gives a shit? Unless, yeah.
And then they literally would tell her, because she would tell me, like, like if they were doing a color sheet, that they would get on their shit about like coloring outside of the lines or not doing the right color. Like they would tell you what colors things needed to be. There was like zero creativity. And also the headmaster of that school, she was a freaking bigot. So anyway, I wasn't cool because I just should have known the day we went in and interviewed. She made like a very snide remark about your show because the dads are gay.
Because they're gay, which crazy, but yeah.
Should have known. I mean, at that moment, I should have just said, yeah, no thanks, not giving my money to this school. Because literally, she was like, oh, so she works. We had to basically let the school know that she was going to miss half of the school days. And she was like, oh, well, what show does she work on? We've had kids who, were actors here before. I said, she's on a show called Modern Family. She goes, oh, isn't that the, I said, yeah, she plays the adopted daughter of the couple, Cam and Mitch. And she goes, oh, yeah, I've heard about that show. I'm not so sure about that subject matter, but anyway. I should have. I mean, the me of today would have been like, and fuck you, and walked right out.
The other thing is, this is, I guess it's a private school, so they're allowed to be a bit more opinionated about that type of stuff. But That's uncalled for. Like, nobody asked about your opinion on
who
gay
cares?
people. Literally, no one asked.
It's also not her family. It's a job. It's like, I mean, even, it doesn't matter if it's your family or not, but like...
Yeah, it's like, Miss Girl, like, we don't even care if you watch the show or not. Like, why are you...
Keep it to yourself,
Do you want our money or not? Like...
Well, she got it, but we only stayed
for
there for
1 year, though.
No, 2, pre-K and K.
Oh, I did kindergarten.
You were there
too.
the 2 years.
Yeah. And then I did first grade in a public school. And
which that was a really good year for you.
I got
Until, that was the year Modern Family went to Australia. You were 6.
Yes.
And then you don't really remember this, but I remember it very clearly. You got bullied by 2 of the mean girls
who I thought were my
basically jealous
she
because
said
you were gone.
They were my bullies. I don't really...
They bullied you after you came back from Australia. So you had to miss 2 weeks of school straight to go shoot that. We were in Australia for 2 weeks. And so it was weird to them that you were gone for so long. And I get it. You know, kids are 6. Like, changing the routine is weird.
Yeah.
And when you came back, you told me, like, when I picked you up or we were home that day, you told me all about it because you were upset. And I was like, what happened? And you said, oh, so-and-so and so-and-so were mean to me. I said, what happened? She goes... They were like, "Where were you? You were gone." And you said, I went to Australia. I don't remember exactly. You said like because of my show or like I was there like doing my show or something like that. And clearly they were just jealous or they felt weird or something. But they said something to you like, "Oh, well, we were glad that you were gone. We didn't even miss you." Mean little bitches.
And, like, I said, like, you swear I said something like that.
100%. I mean, a mom doesn't forget something like that. Like, I remember just being like, I will punch that little cunt. No, I was kidding. No.
That little cunt.
But, you know, then I had to have a talk about, like, okay, well, how are we going to handle that if something like that happens again? If someone says something like to you, how do you think you want to handle that?
Right.
And
I chose, like, the worst people to hang out with growing up when I was a lot younger. I think I've now learned...
to trouble. This one, drawn.
Or at least when I was younger. Maybe now a little bit too.
Here's what I've always said about you is that Aubrey is you are a good girl. No, like when she was little, you were always a good girl, and you still are. Like you're not a troublemaker. You're not a bad person. You're not mean. You're very sweet and you're kind. You're helpful. You follow instructions when teachers tell you that kind of thing. But she cannot resist a troublemaker. Because I think it's the allure of like somebody doing stuff that you wouldn't do on your own. Like somebody stirring up some shit and it's like, ooh, that does look fun.
I think here's why I've grown out of that though. You know, it starts with things like as a kid of like, ooh, like we get to like sneak behind someone's back and do this. And as you get older, like, you know what I mean? Whether that's just like painting some stupid shit on the wall or we'll tell the butter pinching story later or like I just like being sneaky, whether it was on my own or with other people, but usually with other people who are a lot more mean. But the thing is, I think why I grew out of it is because sneaky things like that, like and troublemakers, that turns into doing actually like hard drugs and horrible decision making.
Whoa, that took a turn.
It's true. I'm telling you right now. Like,
we went from pinching butter to doing drugs.
The thing is, those, like, things where it's, like, trouble are now life choices that will permanently affect your life forever. And I think that's why I've grown out of it, because I have that common sense to not do that.
Yeah, you really do. And you don't instigate stuff on your own, but you couldn't resist when somebody else was doing it. And that's when Aubrey learned the word
I'm, like, literally
accomplice.
smirking as she says it, because it's, like, true. I'm like...
Yeah, I mean, like, that's literally, like, I literally taught you the word accomplice. I said, look, it doesn't matter whether it was your idea to do something naughty or not. If you're with the people while they're doing something naughty, then you're going to get in trouble too. And that's exactly what the very first time you ever got in like trouble, you had like worksheets or something. The teacher, because you got like you would get a pink slip if you got in trouble. So a pink slip got sent home, and the teacher, I can't remember if she called me or if I talked to her at school pickup or something. She goes, just want to let you know, Aubrey got a pink slip today, which is not common. Like, it's the first time it's happened. She's not the kind of kid that would normally get one. But what happened was, after they finished these worksheets, they were allowed to go in the back area where like the books and games are and play or read quietly. And so you went back there with, remember that girl who's a bit of a troublemaker? We're not going to say her name.
No, let's say it, because there's literally like
I don't
so
want to say it because we
names.
still live here, honey. So
okay.
But anyway, so there was this girl who was a troublemaker. She was a known troublemaker, and Aubrey was very drawn to her. and they were in the back of the room. And you know how elementary school, early classrooms, they'll have like little manipulatives, like for counting with math and stuff, little plastic beads or whatever. So there's a whole tub of those.
Oh, I think I do.
And there was a giant pump thing of hand sanitizer. So she had the great idea to just start pumping all the hand sanitizer into the bin of manipulatives. And you were there with her while it was happening. So you both got in trouble. That sounds like
something I'd do on my own. I'm not even gonna lie.
Like pinching butter?
Yes! I'm a sucker for satisfying things, man.
You both were doing it. So I don't know whose idea it was. But anyway, that was the very first time you got in trouble with the troublemaker.
With the troublemaker.
And it's so funny because, like, in the great picture scheme of things, like, does any of that really matter? Not really. But, like you said, if that stuff goes unchecked, those are the kids that do turn to, like, start doing more troublesome things as they get older. The troubles get bigger.
Yeah.
You're right. Drugs!
I know, I didn't mean to make it so, like, drugs and
prostitution.
The problems do get more serious as you grow older.
Yeah. What's something you remember doing in school? I was a total troublemaker in school. I've told you that, right?
Yeah.
I got sent to the principal's office all the time. All the time.
Troublemaking? I'm trying to think of... I really wasn't too horrible. Like...
Is there anything you remember doing, though, that was like...
Oh, okay. There was this one girl... over at Cardin Conejo, and she was like, I'm trying to remember her name. She was very much like the princess, you know what I mean? Very like feminine.
I think I know who you're talking about.
And I was like, oh, I can braid your hair if you want me to braid your hair. And she's like, yeah. And I genuinely wanted to braid this girl's hair. It's very well intentioned. I just tied her hair in a knot. Like, I like tied a piece of her hair like literally in a knot.
You're like, there you go, girl.
And I was like, there, it's braided. And then she got so mad at me. And I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I wasn't even meaning to cause trouble.
You weren't doing it to be a brat, though.
I started to get I was mean when I was in 5th grade, though. But we can talk about that later.
Yeah, that was
Tell me about your troublemaking
So my troublemaking years were really only in elementary years. I was a real troublemaker. But I mean, honestly, it's because I came from like a really dysfunctional household. And so I was acting out in school, and I even like bullied like some other kids and stuff. I beat up a couple kids, and I got in fights on the playground. A lot of it was just doing goofy stuff, like stuff we weren't supposed to be doing. Yeah. But there were a couple times where I was like really mean to some other kids, and I feel badly about it to today.
That's how I feel about when I was in 5th grade.
Yeah.
It was only one person. I never physically bullied anybody, or I never said anything outlandish, but it was I still think about it to this day. Like,
yeah, you feel bad about it. It does stick with you. And the other thing too, I'm not saying that the justifying anything that I did that was mean. I mean, I was also like a very nice person. Like I had nice friends. I mean, like Emily that I was just talking about. We've been friends since 1st grade, and she's one of the nicest people on the planet. And she was like a goody two shoes in school. Like she was a perfect student. She never did anything impolite or mean, and like, but she would like hang out with us, and like I think we got her in trouble so many times because she was an accomplice. But I also got bullied quite a bit. I mean, I was like living in an abusive household, but then I also got bullied. I was like racially picked on a lot because I was in an area that was all white, like almost exclusively white, not 100%, but very much so. And yeah, I mean, I got teased a lot. I got picked on. I got called like a chink and flat face and like, can you see out of your eyes and bullshit like that. I mean, I got picked on, and that happened through high school. I mean, I got racially bullied in high school, all like junior high and high school. Did I ever tell you about the time? So in junior high, our schools were 7th and 8th grade was the junior high, and the 9th through 12th was the high school. Mm-hmm. So when I was in 7th grade, like, you were like the little punks in 7th grade, because the 8th graders thought they were like the hot shit because they were the higher grade, and it was just 2 grades in the school. And there was this boy who was in 8th grade. His name was Jeff. Of course, it's like they were all white kids. It's a white kid with blonde hair. And he used to, like, the bell rings and you come out in the hallways and you're all walking through the hallways. Yeah. So we would always be coming out at the same time, like from different classrooms. Mm-hmm. And he used to follow me, and like he'd have his little douchey friend next to him, and he'd walk behind me and be like, hey, chink, like every fucking day.
God.
And like I would just have to walk there and like ignore it, right? And so one day we came out of the classroom and I ended up being behind him. And like some of those like big buildings have like a hallway and there's like sort of like a ramp, like where you're walking in the hallway. And he was like, oh, hey, chink, or whatever, right? But he was in front of me. And I remember I just was like so mad. Like I just had enough. And I was behind him and we were kind of going down the ramp and I was behind him. And I just like wound up and I kicked him. Like kicked. And I meant to just kick him in the butt, but my foot went between his legs and I just nailed him in the balls.
Square.
And he like was like, oh. And his friend was like, oh, dude, she kicked you right in the nuts, man. But then after that, he never did it to me again. Like, it was all, like, mad respect for me because I nailed him in the fucking hall. We were standing in line, in the lunch line, like, a few days later, and he was just like, hey.
What the hell, boy?
So sometimes you just gotta kick someone in the balls.
That's crazy.
And it's okay.
You always wonder in situations like that. It's like, do you have how ignorant can you be?
But I just like, feel like, I mean... Yes, it's horrible, but like I think my point was that like I was mean to some other kids because I was being mean to me.
That's very true, but the difference though in this situation is the racism that's involved. And I think that racism is like one of the forms of bullying and just like ignorant things in general. It's like that's like so low. Like that's, you know what I mean?
If
How are you
come
gonna
from
judge
a
somebody
household
off of
though,
race? Like,
where if your parents are ignorant pieces of shit,
well, yeah, and that's
there's
obviously
you're
why.
kind of doomed, right? You have to learn on your own. You've got to break out of that cycle on your own somehow. And a lot of times I feel like it's, you end up with an adult's if you get like one good mentor in your life, it really can change everything. I mean, that's literally what happened for me. I think my life would have been just horse shit if I hadn't met. There are a couple of really key people in my life, adults in my life, who really made a difference for me. So, I mean, but yeah, I mean, I think that I think everybody reacts to abuse or like bullying and stuff differently. Yeah. For me, when I was younger, though, I definitely acted out and then I like took it out on other kids and stuff. But I grew out of that. Like by the time I was in, I don't know, probably like 4th, 5th grade, I kind of like stopped that. But yeah, I still got picked on a lot. Like, yeah, it was really racist where I grew up.
Yeah, Minnesota,
and look what's happening in Minnesota now. But like, but that was the suburbs. The city's really cool. But yeah. Oh yeah. So 5th grade was quite a year for you.
5th grade, I decided I want to I didn't decide I want to. I think she was like, you should try going back to regular school, and I was like, oh shit, I'm scared. But I did it.
Well, and I'll tell you the reason why. Yeah. It was twofold. One, you were not working as much. They didn't have you in as many episodes, and it just felt like so the days when she wasn't on set, she had to be homeschooled, and we had that homeschool curriculum through that other school. But that was a lot of work for me, or I would have to hire. So it was a combination of me.
I've had so many tutors
and then people that I would hire to help tutor her because I couldn't just sit and do school with her every day. It was,
also,
because I'm a single mom.
We just were not that compatible. Who works 2 jobs. But yeah, I feel like we just weren't really compatible working together. Like for teaching me math. And
I taught you some things, didn't I? I mean,
true, but most of my memories of doing school, I have like with the tutors. Like I can think of like 3 tutors that I work with right now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like when I think of doing homeschooling, that's what I think of. Yeah. But yeah, so it was a lot. So either like I would have to teach her. So we kind of had a combo of both because I couldn't afford to have a tutor like every single day. But it was like some days it was me and other days it was like a tutor would come. And but yeah, that year like that you were going into 5th grade, like you weren't as many episodes. And my main concern was that if you didn't get some normal public school kind of socialization at that point, 5th grade is like, I feel like a really like key cuspy year. Technical difficulties. We're back and we're closer together. Oh, it's recording?
It is, yeah, I didn't turn it off.
All right, sweet. We are back.
We're back on one camera. Hey, editor. Our editor's name is Andrew, so hey, Andrew. Thanks for handling this.
Having an overheating problem.
Okay, so we were talking about how shitty you were in 5th grade. But yes, so I wanted you to have some like normal socialization.
I matured really quickly, and that really is like the cusp year before you go into middle school. And puberty really does start to happen around that time when you're like 10. You know what I mean? Even a little bit before that. Especially now, but we can get into that later because I've been having that discussion a lot with people, how kids look older and older, like, wow, and they're really young. Whoa.
Yeah.
I'll repeat that because hella motorcycles. Whoa.
That was really loud.
Hella motorcycles,
fine.
yeah.
It's just, you know, this is life in the big city. We're in LA.
But kids who are like 8, 9 look like they're 13, sometimes 12 now.
Yes.
Things like that. But I'll get into that in a second. But yeah, 5th grade, I went back to public school, walkable distance from my house. Mm-hmm. I'm really glad that I did that because I don't think I would have had a sense of like normalness and like I wouldn't have a sense of like society, like what, like for socialization, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like I wouldn't have handled social cues as well with other kids.
Yeah, I definitely feel like you needed something. I did not want you to be one of those kids who just was like, I don't know how to act around other kids, or like.
Of course, I'd worked with adults for years.
Yeah, you have to have,
and
like,
you have to be professional. Like, you have to be professional for that. But yeah, with kids, it's a completely different thing because they're not told to be professional in any setting ever.
Technical difficulties.
Okay,
we're back. We are
sure
back.
Okay.
We had a little technical issue. Our camera likes to overheat, and then the battery died on the other one.
So then we switched it out.
So here we are. We're back. Hey, Andrew. Have fun editing this. Okay.
I know. We love you, Andrew, our editor.
So why do you think it was that you had like weird social stuff that year and struggled with like kind of a little like mean streak?
I think it was because one, puberty was hitting. I didn't have any sense of what clothes were. That sounds weird, but I didn't have any sense of like, because I didn't really have a phone like the other kids either. I had an iPad, and I'm pretty sure in the middle of that year too, like you like took my iPad privileges away, and like things like that. And so I had like no social media, like that I think plays a big part. I didn't know anything about anything social like that, and that was like one of those big years. Was that 2017, 2016, 2017?
Yeah,
where things like Team 10 Jake Paul merch was trending and antisocial social club, things like that, where I just had no clue about anything going on in that realm, and everybody else kind of did besides me. So I think that's why I was off. And also, yeah, like I did mature fast. I was taller than like a majority of the boys in my class. Like I got my period that year.
Typical for 5th grade. Yeah,
exactly. And so I think I really just wanted to fit in. And I think that caused me to be a little bit mean towards, like, every now and then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was interesting, and I enjoyed the experience, though. I got to do the school play. I was in Peter Pan.
That's when you started ballroom dancing?
Yeah, I started ballroom dancing that year, too, because of my class, and now I take salsa class every week still.
Yeah. It kind of got you into like doing some theater.
I'm trying to think if I still have any friends or know anybody from 5th grade.
Oh, not really.
Not well, but I went to high school with some of them, and I had
but then you had a hot second in middle school at a small private school.
That I still have friends from to this day.
Well, one ended up going to your high school.
Yes, her name is. I'm gonna name drop here. Her name is Allegra Frost.
She goes to Berkeley
she'll probably
School of
be
Music
famous
now.
someday, and you guys are gonna look back at this podcast.
She's amazing. She's a bluegrass musician. She goes to Berkeley now in Boston, and along with one of your other bestie from high school. Yeah,
and yeah, she's a great bass player and singer.
I mean, overall, not to like totally just skip to the end of your high school life, but like, I mean, even though it was a little like disjunct and kind of weird, I think you had enough regular school life that like it served you well.
I think for sure.
I hope.
I tried. Well, the thing is that didn't happen for your generation. Was we had lockdown during when I was in school, which severely fucked up my 8th grade and the second half of my 7th grade.
Yeah. So when I say she was in middle school for a hot second, Modern Family wrapped for good. Like the whole series ended, and then how many months later was it? Like,
no, like literally 1 month. So basically, here's like the timeline. I did 6th grade when I was 11, so I was still in Modern Family. I did 6th grade in homeschool. 7th grade, I was like, oh, let me try to go back to regular school. And so I did for the first semester.
And it was a little private school, like a very, very small like, private
only
school.
Only 40 kids in the school.
Yeah.
There's so many stories from that school. But we'll save that for a different time. But yeah, so then we wrapped the show, and I'm like, great, it's January, or like it's February, January-ish. Like, you know, I can, like, now I can go back to regular school for all of 8th grade and for the rest of this year, you know what I mean?
And then
literally
dun, dun, dun,
second semester,
the plague hit.
Yeah, boom. And then like
the
it did
Rona
for everybody,
happened.
It's totally screwed out my 2 years that I wanted at that school. And so then I went back to homeschool, but I'm like, this is like
the
normal
whole world
me.
went back to. Well, her school tried to do distance school. Remember how every school was scrambling to set up their kids to do distance school during the COVID lockdown. And that school was like 40 students in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah.
And they were very anti-technology. It was very granola hippie.
We never used computers. Yeah. It was
Did yoga.
We had mandatory yoga and creative classes.
They had a science teacher with a man bun and who didn't wear shoes. Like, it was very hippie.
Yeah. Our teacher actually got fired for being our science teacher got fired for being anti-vax.
So anyway, they tried to do distance learning, and it just was not. I couldn't bring myself to pay tuition for that. I'm like, oh Lord, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it was not worth it.
Let's just go back to the homeschool curriculum because it was free, because that was through a public district. And so yeah, she went right back to homeschooling. I
went right back.
And Modern Family watched their series finale like on Zoom. They couldn't watch it together.
Although we did get our wrap party. We did get that.
Yeah.
That happened right before.
And thankfully, you guys actually got to finish the series because there were a lot of shows went into lockdown before their series
like
were
Sheldon,
done.
That happened to them, didn't it?
Wasn't done being shot, and they had to just shut down.
It sucked.
Crazy. Yeah. Those are crazy times. And now we're in crazy times again. Aren't you glad you're not in school right now? Different kinds of lockdown.
Yeah.
Did you ever practice shooter drills in school?
Yeah, like when I was like younger.
How did I know this?
Like when I was younger, like Cardin Conejo, like yeah, I did.
Oh yeah, there was an incident at your school, and remember they had to add a security guard, and they changed all the pickup drop-off protocol, and yeah, there was a weird incident at your school.
There was a weird incident, and I like remember it too, like going into like the lockdown, like.
What did they have you do? I guess you were so little you might not remember.
What we did was like we would all go behind the teacher's desk and crouch just like that with her.
Ugh, that makes me want to puke.
Like yeah,
thinking
I remember
of
that.
5-year-olds doing that. Seriously, like what have we done? Did you
I don't
do
think
that
I knew what it was
at,
for. I think I thought more like somebody's gonna come kidnap us all, not like this
yeah,
man's
at least
gonna
like
come
if
in
you're
here
that
with a gun.
little, you don't totally know. Like you're not fully aware. What about 5th grade? Did you do any drills then in 5th grade?
Yeah, we definitely like.
That was
something.
LAUSD. That was
usually like
Los
you
Angeles
just
Public.
lock the doors and then you just stay really quiet. Like,
but you did have to do that. You had to practice.
Yeah. It was never that intense, and it was never like school shooter drills. It was more just like safety lockdown drills. Like I feel like, quote unquote, that was the vibe.
You know what we did when I was a kid? Tornado drills. That was the most intense thing we did.
We did fire drills too, because we're in California, so you know, we got them wildfires.
Well, yeah, I think all schools have to do fire drills. But we did fire drills, and then you didn't have this experience. Oh, this is what I think is funny. So, well, it's just got really heavy, so I have to tell a funny story. When you were in 5th grade, so LAUSD is huge, and very few students actually use public school buses. There are some school buses, but they're only in certain areas. Most schools don't even use them. So your 5th grade, there was like a hate to say it, like a short bus. That was the only bus that came to the school. They had like some special students.
Yeah.
Everybody here, for the most part, most people drive their kids to and from school, or you walk if you're close enough. And Aubrey said to me one day, she's like, because the thing is, you grow up, you watch like movies and stuff. There's kids are always on buses. It's
like a European when they come here, like as a transfer student, they think, oh my gosh, it is really like it is in movies with like the lockers and and the buses, you know, like that's what a lot of them think.
Yeah, the
right?
high school had buses.
That's how
and
it
in
felt for me,
California,
but
like
just
in
with
movies, the
buses.
lockers are outside and stuff like that. But Aubrey was like,
people in
man,
high
I
school
wish we
sitting
could
on school buses. Or,
yeah, I wish I could ride a school bus. I'm like, girl, nothing good happens on a school bus.
In my mind, it sounded really
Worst.
aesthetic.
They're
I
the
don't
worst.
know why.
It's just like a tube of abuse, like a yellow metal tube of abuse on wheels. That is what a school bus is. Like nothing good happens on a school bus.
It seems like it builds character considering so many people write it into their scripts, though. But
I guess. I mean, I got called the N-word on the school bus, so I don't.
oh,
Hey, suburban Minnesota in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, I got. Yeah, it was magical. So, but school buses, like kids are. You want to talk about bullying? Kids are mean on the school bus.
That makes
they're
sense.
mean to the
I
bus
would've
drivers.
totally,
I mean, it's horrible. It's brutal. It's like Lord of the Flies on that shit. And so she would be like, "Oh, I wish I could ride a school bus." I'm like, "Trust me, you do not. Don't even wish that, girl. You don't want it." Yeah, but I did think I did tell you I did have. I had a little boyfriend in
she did
kindergarten.
tell me about this, yeah.
Because so I grew up, you always rode the bus until you had your driver's license if you were lucky enough to have a car. So I rode the school bus through my junior year, from kindergarten through my junior year, because I was 17 when I graduated, so I didn't drive until the end of my junior year. So in kindergarten, there was a boy. We used to sit on the bus together, and we were in love. And his name was Mark. And one day he brought me a teddy bear that was his own, and he gave it to me. And I was like, oh, and I loved stuffed animals. And I was just like, oh my God, my man loves me.
Man.
So I like
my fifth grade huzz, or how old were you?
Kindergarten.
My kindergarten huzz loves me. Huzz.
So I put it in my bag, and I had it all day, and I brought it home. And I remember I took it out of my bag. My mom was like, where'd you get that bear? And I'm like, my friend gave it to me, you know. And she and you know, as a parent, you just never know what 5-year-olds are up to. And so she said, you can't keep it, because you know, she didn't know if it was something special, and didn't know if his mom knew that he gave it to me. She says, you have to give it back, because his mom might not know, and you know, it might not be okay for you to have it or for him to give it away. I was crying.
What a mood killer.
Crying my face off. I was like,
Anderson.
I remember, and I had to give it. So she made me put it in my bag.
I would have been so upset.
And give it back to him the next day on the bus. And I remember I gave it back to him on the bus, and I was crying on the bus. I'm like, my mom says I can't have this. I have to give it back to you. And he was like, okay.
Oh.
God, what was that kid's name? Mark.
Did you guys?
I remember he had a bowl cut. He had dark brown hair.
Did you guys go through like elementary and high school together?
Yeah, and I'm sure I can look in my yearbook, because I wonder what he's doing now. Mark. I remember he always, like, his face always seemed a little dirty. Like,
dirty.
We were kindergartners, though. Yeah.
It was giving, what's his name from the Peanuts?
Not
the guy in the dust.
Not quite Pigpen.
Not Pigpen.
Mark. Mark. And then I think I also told you about, we have to wrap up soon, but there was a kid.
Well, this timer's a little bit off.
It is a little bit off. So. When I was in first grade, there was a boy named Charlie. I don't want to say his real name, because these are real people, but like, there's a boy named Charlie who was like, remember in elementary school, like in 5th grade or 1st grade, there was always like a gross boy that nobody liked. Like, ooh, he's gross. Or remember in 5th grade, there was a...
That's okay. When I say I was mean to somebody in 5th grade, there was a boy,
yeah.
In 5th grade.
Okay, there was a boy in my 1st grade class who was like the gross boy, and his name was Charlie. And Valentine's Day, did you do this in 1st grade and 5th grade? Like, Valentine's Day, you all bring your Valentines to class.
But you do it for everybody.
And you make a bag or a box.
And you get them.
And you decorate your little Valentine's box or bag, and then you go around and you...
Let's bring that back for adults, man.
And you hand out your Valentines to everybody, right? And then you get like a whole bag or box full of Valentines. Okay, so we're told we decorated our own boxes, like to bring a shoe box, and then we could decorate it. Mm-hmm. So there was this cartoon character named Ziggy that was really popular, like in the 70s and 60s.
Okay, Ziggy.
So I had this Ziggy wrapping paper that had red hearts on it and stuff. My box was like bomb. And you cut a slit in the top, like a mailbox
Man,
slit.
I wish there was a picture of this.
So anyway, all of our boxes were lined up in the back of the room. Uh-huh. And I think this was 2nd grade. And then like our teachers, we were working on like math worksheets, and then they said, okay, row 1, you can go back and do your Valentines. And then like each row would take their turn. And then, you know, during break, we got to go get our Valentine's box. We're all going through our Valentines. And so the rows are going back. And then Charlie's row goes back and goes, what do we do if our Valentine doesn't fit in somebody's box? And she was like, well, I'm sure if you just lay it on top of it or next to it, if it has their name, they'll know it's for them. Well, it was me.
Aww.
He bought me a special card, like a real card with an envelope that opened.
Damn.
And so anyway, I went back. No, and like, but it was like the gross boy. So me and all my little girlfriends were freaking out. They're like, ew, it was you. They, Charlie loves you. And then...
No. Oh, poor Charlie.
And I remember being a little bit grossed out and a little bit flattered at the same time.
Well, yeah, because who wouldn't feel flattered?
He's probably hot now. Whatever.
Yeah, like, honestly. Yeah.
Should try to look him up. I'm single.
She is single. If any middle-aged
single,
men
ready to mingle. Unless you're a loser. Because I feel like every available middle-aged man right now is a fucking loser, so.
But, you know, she's still out here. She's
Dudes,
trying.
You need to get it together, man.
Get it together for Amy Anderson. Just for her.
Do you want me to, like, meet someone, don't you?
Oh, I totally want you to meet someone. But we can talk about that in a
That's a whole other episode. We do have to wrap it up soon.
We do.
All right.
Well,
so, in conclusion.
Do you have any tips for... children going through school, like,
do I?
Or picking schools for your kids? Do you have any advice?
Well, one thing I will say, because I know that like a lot of people really, especially here in LA, because you can go to different schools, you can kind of, and people are like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna be the right school, and they tour schools and they interview principals and they go all over the place, and it's private or public or charter, blah, blah. There is no best school. The best school for your child is the school that is good for them. And that's different for every kid. And also sometimes, like, we don't get to pick and choose everything. Sometimes, you know what, you just need to suck it up and do what you have to do.
Agreed.
I mean, I didn't have a freaking choice. Like, I just had to go where I went, and it fucking sucked. But look at me now. I'm doing a podcast on my couch at midnight.
I know. I'm, like, slowly
I know,
starting to
she's
doze
starting to
off,
get tired.
Like, okay.
Do you have any advice for kids who are maybe in school now, or to parents? Or
I didn't really have a normal childhood experience. I mean, maybe for other people who are child actors or whatever, I would say do what you want to do. If you want to go to regular school, if you and your parents can find a way to make it work, do it. Don't be afraid to go socialize with other people your age. And also, it's okay to feel different and to be different, because not everybody needs to understand what you do or kind of where you're coming from.
Fly your freak flag.
Let that freak flag fly, because inside everyone has one. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it on my part, since a lot of people can't really relate to my school journey. But.
All right. Well, I mean, I think that's really good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Please, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to our channel.
Yes, please do.
Like, leave us comments, and in the comments,
let us know
feel
what
free.
you would like us to talk about.
Yeah, we want your feedback.
Should we do shout-outs every now and then? Like,
yeah, we'll totally do shout-outs.
We'll do shout-outs. So,
in the future, hopefully we'll do some lives and stuff like that.
Oh, for sure.
We have, and also we have an Instagram set up. It's a little bit of a long handle.
The handle will probably be here somewhere.
Aubrey, Amy, Let's Discuss. That's our Instagram handle. Aubrey, Amy, Let's discuss all together. So check us out on Instagram. We'll be posting our episodes every Tuesday. That's the plan so far, if I can ever figure out this technology.
We've got this.
All right. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'm Amy.
And I'm Aubrey.
You've been watching
Let's Discuss.
Peace.
Bye. You've been listening to Let's Discuss with Aubrey and Amy.
Edited by the amazing Andrew Adame.
And special thanks to Eric Demschik for his technical help.
Let's Discuss was recorded on our couch at home in sunny Los Angeles.
Follow us on Instagram at Aubrey Amy Let's Discuss.
See you next time!